Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie Alves. Thank you so much for stopping in today, and thank you to all of you who have subscribed and followed me for so long. I just really appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you're going to be with me today. So today I want to talk about some eye lifting eyeliner and eyeshadow techniques. Now, keep your eyes peeled for a couple weeks when you're going to see me doing a full facelift technique with makeup. But today, let's really talk about eyes. I am going to do foundation, a little bit of contour, all those things that I love. But today we're really going to talk about some lifting eyeliner and eyeshadow techniques that you can accomplish regardless of age, what your eye shape is like, and what your vision is like. If you followed me for any amount of time yet, you know that I'm pretty blind. Can't see so good anymore. So anyway, I'm going to show you ways to overcome that and be an overcomer. So let's get started. First of all, I want to show you one of my favorite tricks that helps me be able to see what I need to see. Because you know when you get in that magnifying mirror and it's like, you know, and you can just see like into your brain, you just wanted to like pluck an eyebrow hair. You didn't want to like see the back of your skull, but they're so magnifying, they blind you, or they're not enough, right? So I actually have 3 that I work with, these 3 right here, and I didn't buy them all together. I just kind of collected them over, I don't know, a couple of years maybe, and now they're just like amazing helpers. So I've got one that magnifies a little bit. I don't know the numbers on these, you guys. I'm sorry, the times magnification number, but this is just a little bit that helps me be able to maybe see my whole self without glasses. This one is a little bit more. This one I could do lip liner with and eyeshadow without getting too close. And this dude, he's crazy. If I want to predict the future or tell you what your grandkids are gonna be when they grow up, this is the one it's gonna be. But it also really helps me to pluck eyebrows and see really close things like that without my glasses on. All right, so let's get started. I, of course, already did all of my skincare, all of my skin prep, and now I'm gonna start with some primer. I love to use a water-based primer. This one is really thin in consistency. I don't have to put too much on, and it feels really lightweight. You can see it's just the color of my skin, but it doesn't matter what color your skin is. It just is clear when it goes on. So I'm just gonna put a little on my whole face, even my lips, yeah, and my eyelids. It's important that when you're using primer, you're gonna get a little bit on those eyelids. Look how red my face turns when I rub it. Super crazy. All right, so now I'm going to use a formula of foundation I don't use very often on my own face. You guys know, if you've been watching my channel at all, that I am a makeup artist, and I've been doing makeup for over 33 years. So I've done lots and lots of makeup on lots and lots of women over the years. So I do use specific things on other women for photography, weddings, whatever the occasion would be. I use those things I don't necessarily use on my face every day. And this is one of them. So this is a longwear foundation by Jafra Cosmetics called Always Foundation. This one is super long wear, but it's a little bit drier than I like my foundation for a daily wear. Like if I'm gonna be on stage or on camera, I do like this one. But like I said, it's a little dry. It's pretty matte. But I found something out recently. Jafra Cosmetics just developed a new facial serum that is for dehydrated skin. Now, you guys, I wanna show you something pretty amazing. It's not for dry skin and that it would make it like more moist or it's like a moisturizer. It's for dehydrated skin. So it keeps your skin from looking thirsty, if you know what I mean. But I am going to take this, put it right in the palm of my hand. That was probably like 4 drops. I don't know. I probably would be a horrible baker because I don't know how to follow recipes. I'd be a great chef because I'm like a dash of this and, you know, a pinch of that and throw some of this in the pan. And it always tastes good. But a baker, I would probably blow up my oven. So with that serum, I'm going to put some foundation right into it. This shade is Golden Tan. Now, when I start putting it on, you guys, I'm going to look pretty yellow. But just trust me, it looks great in person. The video will almost always make you look a little more gold than you are. So just trust me, this is gonna look okay. but I'm gonna mix it together in my hand using a sponge. This happens to be a round sponge, but you can use one of those good old like triangle sponges that you can get in the big old bags that were super popular like in the 80s. This one just happens to be round, like I said. So I'm gonna grab my contour palette mirror just because it's regular strength. I don't need any magnification right now. And I'm gonna start putting this on. Now, I usually use fingers or brush to apply foundation, but I wanna use this little thin sponge because I have that serum mixed in there and I don't want it to get sucked into my brush, and I want more coverage than I could get with my fingers. So I'm just gonna start tapping it on, and you can see it's pretty yellow, but it really does blend and fade in really well. I'm gonna cover up this ridiculous pimple I got. I don't know why sometimes my body like regresses and thinks that I'm 15, but only in the bad ways, not in the good ways. Like, you know, I can't get an instant butt lift. You know, I just will get a lot of pimples or emotional and weird. Anyway, so I'm just kind of patting this on. Now I'll go ahead and get a little more aggressive. I wouldn't recommend one of the big teardrop shaped beauty blenders for this because they're a little more expensive, usually, bigger investment, and they will suck a lot of this stuff up because they're pretty big. So this is just a thin little sponge. And then those wedge shaped sponges, you know, those are disposable. Okay, so the reason why I mixed this serum in is because it really hydrates this makeup. It makes my face look really like fresh. And I don't mean like a dewy finish. I don't necessarily have that kind of wet look or a little bit of like oily, you know, with the dewy finish. But my skin looks incredibly fresh when I do this mixture. I made this discovery pretty recently when one of my good friends, Uzi Gold, he is a makeup artist for Jafra Cosmetics as well. And we were trying this new product like this. And it was amazing how beautiful it looked. So I'm pretty impressed with it. Now, if you don't want to use a technique where you would mix a serum with a foundation, but you still want to get kind of a hydrated look, serum foundations are really super hot right now. There's a lot of different brands that make them. One of the most recent that I tried was by Estee Lauder. It was a little spendy, but a good serum foundation. But I loved being able to just mix a little bit of this right in, and wow, the coverage is beautiful and the finish of my skin is really pretty. Always try to bring it down to my neck and chest a little because I get so dang red on my chest. I'm turning on my fan, you guys. It's a hot tamale in here today. All right, so that's looking pretty good. And I didn't use a whole lot of foundation, just a few drops. You saw what I used. I could definitely go and layer, I don't know, maybe one or two more layers if I wanted more coverage, but I'm really happy with this. I don't feel like I have a whole lot of discoloration. I just need to kind of balance my skin tone out. So now I'm gonna go in and just use a really lightweight dusting powder. Not only is it lightweight, it's also on the light shade spectrum. So let me grab a little bit of that. Not a lot. And just go over my whole face. I usually just start kind of tapping it through the middle because I don't want to fling it all over the place. And then once some of that powder starts to come off of the brush, I'll give it some swirls. This really helps kind of buff any large pores, or maybe you got a little too much foundation in one area, not enough in the other. So this helps buff that out pretty well. All right, I could get carried away with that stuff. You know what, you guys, I always get carried away, you know me. All right, I'm gonna do lightweight contour, nothing huge, no big deal. Right under my cheekbone and bring it up toward my nose. I'm gonna come a little closer. Every time I tell you guys that I'm gonna come a little closer, I sing that song in my head from the deodorant commercial. I think it was in the 70s or 80s. Arid, extra dry. Get a little closer. Ridiculous, huh? I have the weirdest jingle stuck in my head from commercials. I bet you guys feel the same way. All right, just a little bit of contour. All right, so I'm back with my face contour, just very light. I didn't do any in-depth chiseling, just a little bit. Now I'm gonna pop on some blush, and I'm gonna mix the pink and the orange to make peach, of course. But it just gives me a little bit of a natural blush color. Just a little bit. This is so high pigment, it's ridiculous. And I am, as usual, starting towards the hairline and fading toward the nose. And as I have aged, I have begun to bring my blush up a little higher because I don't want it to be down here and drag my face down. Just like my contour, I keep it up a little bit higher. But also, you know, if you're starting to get a little bit of a hollow here as we age, that happens, bringing up that blush and bringing it all together is best rather than keeping it under the hollow, and then it's almost like that hollow would be highlighted. So just bring that blush in so it's a little more cohesive, a little larger area and kind of softer. Okay, I'll do the other side. Got a little bit more pink on this side, so sometimes you gotta hop back and forth. Bam, 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 bam. All right, I will put a tiny bit on the bridge of my nose and above my eyebrows. I swear, anymore, I feel like when I do my makeup, I'm just whacking myself with this brush. So aggressive. On my clients, though, they say I have the softest touch. They fall asleep in my chair, but isn't it funny how women, when we do our own makeup, we're just like whacking ourselves with brushes and sponges? So weird. Okay, so now I'm gonna get into some eyeshadow, and I'm actually going to use a cream colored eyeshadow for my base. This is just a single little cream eyeshadow. And then I'm gonna use the Beauty Bar contour palette that I love for my eyeshadow. So I'm keeping it simple. We're gonna stay mostly brown, but I'll probably add in some of that pink blush just to make the brown a little bit on the pink side. I don't like to go too brown with all my makeup because sometimes that can age us even more. So keep a little pink in there if possible, okay? So I'm gonna take my big fat eyeshadow brush that I adore. I use this constantly. It is a brush by Real Techniques that you can get just about anywhere. And I'm just gonna put this on my entire lid from lashes to brows and side to side, keeping it nice and light on the bottom. If you have a smaller area on your eye from lashes to brows than I do, you can use a smaller brush. All right, so I've got that cream color on, and now I'm gonna go in and use this lighter brown. Then I'll transition to the darker brown to really deepen the crease, and then I'll pop a little pink in there as well. But what we're gonna do in this lifting eyeshadow look, because remember, gravity's doing this thing to our faces. So we want to give a natural lifted look to this lid. Now, especially if you have a hooded lid like I do. I think this one's actually worse. I could show you on that one. It's not necessarily super saggy. It's just the shape of my eye. And of course it's gonna get worse the older I get. So I wanna create a crease in there. So that's why I'm gonna be adding the deeper shade, the contour. But you can do this with eyeshadow, whatever shade you like, even if it's purple, it's okay. But we're gonna add that, like our second shade in here, and we're gonna bring it up much higher than you think. And then with our third shade, which will be the darkest one we're gonna use, we're gonna really accent the side and bring it up further than you think, okay? Because sometimes we put on the eyeshadow, we open our eyes and it disappears. And I'm gonna show you a trick with eyeliner as well. Now, because this eye look is gonna focus quite a bit on the liner, I'm not gonna go real super dark with my eyeshadow, okay? So I'll go ahead and use this second shade, which is the lightest of the two browns. And look, I'm still using the fat brush. You can switch to a smaller one if you want, but I'm just going right in the crease, starting on the outer corner. That's where I'm concentrating most of that color. And I'm avoiding the bottom and keeping it right in the middle. And see how I'm bringing it out? It doesn't matter if I bring it out too far, I feel like I get squirrely with it, because we're gonna go clean it up when we're done. So back to that second shade, making sure I'm getting plenty in there, and I'm just taking it easy, layer by layer. You see how high up that's coming now though? So it doesn't disappear when I open my eye. I'll do the same on the other side. And this is a great like golden brown color. It's real pretty, but you can do this again with whatever eyeshadow shades you like. All right, I'm just blending it up. Like I said, bring it up further than you think. Like, just bring it up, bring it up. We just get lost in that little crease, and everybody says, when I open my eyes, it disappears. Well, start bringing it up so it doesn't disappear then. You guys, I'm so happy to be with you today. I love coming into the studio and making these videos for you, and I feel like we're kind of hanging out. Like I can picture you as I'm doing makeup, like any of you that struggle with the hooded lid, or I can see you like not being able to see, or maybe some of my friends whose hands aren't steady anymore. Like I'm thinking of you when I make these videos, and I hope that you get some good tips from them as we go. Okay, I'm gonna transition over to that darker brown now, and I grabbed a smaller brush, so I will just get in there, and I'm going to come close again, and I'm bringing it right down to my lash line here. I accidentally dipped in the second color, so I had to go back in and get some more of the darker brown. So, you know, mistakes will happen, it's okay. So that's all I did, was bring it about halfway over. I hope you guys can see that really well. And now I'm bringing it up. So a lot of that patting motion, because I want to keep it darker on the outside, but I'm also bringing it up. See how my eye is open while I'm doing it? So I can see that it's coming up, and you can still see it. It's not disappearing, right? And I'm bringing it up in a half moon, because I don't want it to come down and out. I want it to come up over that brow bone a little bit. Now, all right, my friends, one of the best tips I can give you when you're trying this at home, make sure that you've got your brows done. Have them waxed or plucked or threaded or whatever you're doing, so that you don't have a bunch of stragglers. Get them cleaned out, because that'll give them a natural lifted look anyway. When you can see where the definition of that brow arch is, that will really give you a good lift. When our brows are growing down and they're kind of scattered, and they're filling in over here, it really closes off our eyes. So, you know, get some of that taken out, get them cleaned up, and if you can't see good enough to do it yourself, just go get it done. Invest in yourself to get that done occasionally. I have to do that sometimes. I'll have Denise here at the beauty bar thread my brows for me, and it hurts really bad, but it's worth it. All right, so I'm gonna do the same on this side. Let me come closer. Like halfway, just right to my lash line. And now in the crease, using that darker shade. You guys, I really hope you give this a try. and just really get some practice and have fun with it. It's really, there's no consequences to it. You can always wipe it off, right? But have some fun. All right, going back to that darker shade again. All right, I think I'm doing pretty good. Can't see super great, but it's looking like it's gonna be all right. Just making sure it's blended out. Now I'm gonna take the deepest shade again, this one right here, and run it right underneath. So this keeps it softer on the bottom and keeps me from having like a dragged down, really dramatic underneath kind of look, because we're focusing on the top. That's where our eyeliner's really gonna pop. So we're just adding a little smoky definition underneath. And I can kind of already see some mistakes I made, but I want to remind you, just get to the end, because you can always clean up all those mistakes once you're completely finished, because it really comes together. I just had a client in and I did a one-on-one tutorial with her, and I told her, just commit to getting to the end. Just as fast as you can, not like crazy, but just get to the end without stressing about every little detail. And then you can check it out when everything comes together. Just commit to getting it done and then go back. And she was like, okay, I can do this. She actually sent me photos of herself the next day and she did it. So I thought that was pretty great advice. All right, so now I'm just gonna take a concealer brush and just clean up. I don't have concealer on it. I'm just making sure I brush out from underneath there really well. I'm gonna use some brow powder real fast. And I better use a magnifying mirror for this part. I have a cool brunette brow powder to just darken up those brows before we go to liner. But I wanna show you something important with brows that's also gonna help that lifted eye look. Make sure that you're bringing that arch up and giving it some definition right in the arch mostly. You don't have to do a lot here on the inner corner because that will block your eyebrows out. And I did elongate a little bit as well. You don't have to do that, but I was feeling a little dramatic today. So concentrating most of that pigment right in that arch will give it a lifted look. Now just making sure everything matches. I almost kicked the camera over. Good Lord. That would have been a funny outtake though. All right, so now that my brows are done, I'm gonna go ahead and go to eyeliner, and I've got a black eyeliner. You can use a dark brown if you like, but this is really a roll-up gel eyeliner that you can use a regular pencil, a sharpening eyeliner if you want. But this is, it's just gonna help me softly create that line with my eyes open. So I switched magnifying mirrors to the second one, and I'm just gonna go right here on my outer corner. Now, I don't wanna bring it all the way down, you guys. I don't wanna like come down with my liner like this. I'm not gonna go all the way to the end. What I'm actually doing is pulling it up. I'm gonna come closer so you can see what's going on here. See, I'm not coming all the way to the end and dragging my eye down. I'm lifting it up. And I'm starting with this because I can smudge it if I make mistakes. Using a pencil or a roll-up eyeliner at this point would be very forgiving in that you can just kind of smudge it out. Now, I want you to see how it's thicker out here and fades toward my nose. And keeping my eye open, I'm bringing it up and out. Now you might think this looks crazy right now, and it's okay, but you can see when I open my eye, it doesn't disappear. So getting it fatter out here and not dragging it down is really helpful. Now I'm gonna take just a little slanted eyeliner brush or brow brush, whatever you wanna call it, and I'm gonna smudge it. I'm using the angle to my advantage by putting the tiny pointy edge on the outer corner. It doesn't look super great yet, and that's okay. You can leave it like this too, because honestly, once you get mascara on, you can't see all of that, and it's all right. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I am just gonna add a little bit more. So I'm layering it pretty well. All right. So being able to see it with my eyes open is kind of the objective. Building it up on that outer corner again. And you know what, honestly, even if you completely screw this up, you guys, just like I said earlier, have fun with it. It's just eyeliner, take it off and try again. It might take a little bit of practice, but you know what, life is too short to stress about eyeliner, right? I mean, so many of my friends know why I just love life so much and why I try to have fun every single day, whether it's with my makeup, with you here on YouTube, in my studio, with my family. You know, when you get a second chance at life like I did, you want to live every single day like you're free, right? You want to live every single day like you're loved. And so that's what I prefer to do. So seriously, just enjoy the process, enjoy the learning process, you guys. All right, so see that dark brown right there? You can use whatever eyeshadow you like, but I'm gonna take a dark brown. You can use black, dark brown, you could use a chestnut at this point if you want, and I'm going to smudge it onto that eyeliner right at the top. See how it's really evening it out nice and softening where I had kind of some uneven, like speed bumps going on. I'll sharpen up the corner a little bit. Get a little bit more brown. And I'm just going up even a little bit more. So it's almost smoky. See, not disappearing. All right, let's do the other side. I didn't bring this up as high with the black eyeliner, and that's okay. I can just add a little bit more right now just to make up the difference. All right, so now I've got both eyes done. I did very thick eyeliner with that roll-up eyeliner black on the outer corners, and then I took a brown eyeshadow with this little slant brush and just made it really smoky on top. I'm just making sure it comes down to my lash line, and I took an extra minute just to perfect it because I noticed they were kind of crooked. And I know I said, you know, just have fun with it, but also, you know, go back and make sure you're not crooked. But even if you are, you know what, it's not gonna show too much once you get mascara on. So, you know, keep that in mind. Now I'm gonna use this Royal Luxe Mascara by Jafra that I'm constantly bragging about, but there's a reason why I stick with this so often, and it's because of the formula. I'll show you. So I take it to the root and gently pull to the tip. And sometimes I'll have to jiggle it back and forth to get extra product on it. And see how slow I'm going? Usually when we do mascara, we're so fast, right? It's like we're in a hurry. That's why we accidentally poke ourselves in the eye so much, because we're just going at it like crazy ladies. But if you just take your time with this one, it's pretty incredible. So I use the ball on the end to lift and separate the lashes. And then I'll do the bottom. Notice I didn't dip back in. And now I go and just push on the lash. Not too hard, I don't want it to touch my eyelid. I'm just pushing it right at the root. And see, I got a little dot right there. It's okay, because I can go back and just wipe that right off. I'll just leave it for now. But I'm lifting this. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to, but man, it just really helps those lashes stand straight up, and that will naturally lift the eye too. That way the lashes aren't coming down and up, they're actually going up, and I didn't have to use a lash curler or anything like that. You can see quite a difference, right? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye, and I'll be right back. All right, so I've got both of my eyes done with mascara. You can see what a huge difference that made. And I literally just pushed them up and they were just like, oh, there they were. So now I'm gonna use some concealer, but I'm gonna use my Jafra Royal, almost like a luminescent concealer. This is for light skin. They also have medium and deep. So you can see this one is a little pink. I'm just gonna take my concealer brush and just dip in just a little bit. Don't get too much. And just putting a little bit right here and tapping across will help just brighten under my eyes. I don't have really bad dark circles, so I don't necessarily need to conceal too much, but I do really like brightening. And then when I come around, I will cut up this way, right under that eyeliner that I did. So see how it brings my eyeshadow up? And now just buff it right here. Make sure it's blended. Now look at this and this. So we'll do the same on this side. And I'm just cutting to the end of my eyebrow. Don't cut up, you know, too straight up, or, you know, too straight out either. Come up at just a really nice angle that lines up with your end of your eyebrow. And then I just buff that out if I bring it up too high. Pat it down, make sure it's blending nicely. And that was just a really great brightening concealer. It's got like a radiant finish to it. Now you can use it on top of regular concealer if you need that extra coverage from regular concealer, but you still want that luminosity of one of these. All right, so it looks like my eyes are pretty much there. However, I'm gonna do a quick lip and then I'm gonna show you another trick with my eyes. So let's get into some lips here real fast. I'm gonna use just a good basic nude pink lip liner. Doing the bottom several times. Just really helps me build up that product. Lots and lots of lip liner. All right, I'm gonna use a lipstick called Absolute Nude. This is a new moist formula. Called Color Passion by Jafra Cosmetics. It's one of my new favorite lipsticks. I love this nude, but it's super moist on my lips. I really like it without being glossy, and it actually has some good stay power too. All right, so now let's talk about lashes. I want to show you a couple of tricks you can do with lashes. I have two different sets here. One are some really nice full beauty bar lashes. You can see those are pretty full. They've got a lot of volume to them. And if that's the kind of lash you like, absolutely wear that. But today I'm gonna be using some half lashes. These are just very subtle. And you can see that they are thicker and more dramatic on the outer corner. It's gonna make them easier to get on because they're a half lash. I don't have to cut them, trim them, measure them, anything. I'm gonna just go like this to make sure they're curved really well. Going to use a lash applicator tool. They do have a clear band, so I do want to put on my glasses and make sure that I get the glue just on the band. So if you wear glasses, go ahead and put them back on at this point. Take that extra minute to just make sure you're getting that glue in the right spot. If you get them all over the lashes like I sometimes can, they're gonna be a horrible mess. There we go. So I got a good amount of glue on there. I'm gonna show it to you, so hang tight. If you can see that glue all the way across, then you know you did a good job getting it on there, and it will dry clear. So another trick is make sure that the glue gets tacky. Don't just slap it on when it's good and wet. Just don't. Give it a minute, okay? So one thing you can do is blow on it if it's your own lash. If it's somebody else's lash and I'm doing someone's makeup, I'll hold it in front of this fan I have over here on the floor. But it's mine, so I'm gonna blow on it. All right, now check this out. I have a lash applicator tool. I'm putting it on the outer corner. I already messed up and stuck it on my lid where it doesn't go, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world, right? What do we say? Just have fun, and if you get it wrong, just go back and fix it. All right, wow, that went on really easy, actually. Holy mackerel. That was easier than I'm used to. So, I'm just making sure it's stuck completely on my eyelid. It looks great though, wow. I like it a lot, I do. So you guys, I mentioned earlier to you that I like to have fun, live like I'm free. I got a second chance at life. I forgot to tell you what I mean. I was talking to one of my clients that was here the other day. She was in my chair, and I mentioned that. She's like, well, what happened? What do you mean you got a second chance of life? I mean, that always sounds pretty interesting, right? And so I told her, long time ago, that I had been an alcoholic almost my whole life. I've been sober for 11 years now. Woohoo! Such an incredible victory. But I feel like I used to be a prisoner all the time. And today, being sober and living free, you know, I feel like I've been released from a horrible prison, right? So I don't know, you know, where you are and what your circumstance may be, but I bet a lot of us, especially at our age, have been through a couple of things, maybe lots of things, right? So I think we all have a place we can be thankful that we came out of. So that's what I always say. Just live like you're free, because you are. All right, I'm making sure that's nice and curved, just like I did the other side. And I'm gonna grab it in my lash tool and put on my glasses again. So let's get that glue on here. Just one nice line across the band. Don't put too much, but do make sure you're getting it all the way across. All right, I think this one is gonna be a little bit harder, honestly. Just because I'm right-handed and reaching across my face is not as easy. See, you have to go, and it's kind of weird. I'm like, when I do this side, it's just, and there we go. All right, so I'm gonna use the second magnification now. See why I have all three of those? It just, I gotta hop all around. Here we go. Wish me luck. It's on the outer corner. I may have to fight with this one just a little bit. I think that it wants to go down and like drag my eye down, so I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. Oh, yeah, nope, I messed up. I'm gonna have to do it again. But see, don't panic. I don't want you guys to give up. If you have to, you know, try it again or move it over. I felt like I just brought it too far down. All right. And I still feel like it's not right. There we go. Okay, I just needed to center it a little bit. All right. Now, if you feel like, you know, that was too much of a struggle for a lash, don't worry about it. You saw how great that mascara was. You know, so just get a couple of great coats of mascara on, you'll be okay. Now, if you don't have lashes though, you know, if they've begun to get thin or disappear or turn gray on you, you know, you may want to consider grabbing yourself a few pairs of little half lashes. You can get a big long cart of them on Amazon that has like 6 or 8 little sets in there. You can get them fairly cheap, and then, you know, you can practice with them. I say they're like training wheels. So give it a try and use those little ones to learn your best technique. I have a friend who prefers to use her fingers when she puts them on. She doesn't like the lash tool. So don't be afraid to find the technique that works best for you, for your vision, for your dexterity, how you like to hold it, all of that. But get a few cheap sets so you can give it a try and feel comfortable about ruining them if you have to. All right, that turned out really pretty. I actually really like it. I haven't put lashes on in a little while, and I'm a huge fan. All right, I'm gonna go back to my contour palette because remember those highlighters that are in there. I'm gonna show you a trick. So I need to grab a clean concealer brush because see, this is the bigger side, but see the small side of this concealer brush is kind of curved like that and it's flat. So I'm gonna grab some of this white diamond color, I like to call it, of the powder. And I just got it on the end. I'm gonna put it right here. You could do this before the eyeliner if you want. I just know how to avoid the eyeliner. And I'm just putting a little on my corner here. See how that brightens up as well? And I'll do it again over here. Now, normally when I put on this highlight powder, I will use my ring finger and go across, and I do it before the eyeliner step. but I knew that I was just going to use a tiny bit of this white one just to brighten. I wasn't necessarily trying to do like a cut crease technique or anything intense with my eyeshadow, but it did just add a great pop. Now I want to show you one more thing. I'm going to go to the gold because it's not as intense as the white. Same thing on the end of the brush. I'm going to put it right here, right in the arch of my brow, and it will naturally just highlight it. You can use the white if you like. I just didn't want to be quite so stark on this area. I'm gonna just sweep out here and here. Remember that going back and perfecting step I told you about. I probably could put a little more concealer under my eyes, but I would rather have less concealer than a bunch of product built up that's gonna crease on me later. So now I'll go back to my powder and I'm just gonna buff and look to make sure I got everything good. A lot of lipstick on my teeth. That's how I roll, you guys. I'll get that off in a minute. I'm gonna go back to my blush brush. Yeah, let's get that lipstick off of the old teeth. Aha. Very good. All right. Now I'm going to go back to my highlighter. A little on my cheek. And a little on my nose. That's a pretty good full face and a very lifted eye, I think. Oh, I love that. It turned out so pretty. All right, so you can wear your hair up if you like. I had planned on letting mine down, but you know what? I'm liking it up today and it's really hot outside. So I think I'll just go ahead and put on some cute gold earrings to go with this gold accent and just act like I did it on purpose. And that's what I say about most things, you guys. If you make a mistake, your hair doesn't look right, your eyeshadow's not right, just act like you did it on purpose. It'll be another day tomorrow and you can start over then, right? Okay, you guys, let me get one last look. Yeah, I like it. I like the shades. I like the shape of my eyes. I hope you give this a try. Regardless of your eye shape or age, anybody can give this a try. Even if you can't do the false lashes, it's okay. I encourage you to try. But if you figure out you can't do it, it's all right. Just get that great coat of mascara on. Okay, I hope you guys give this a whack. I hope you have a good time in your house, living like every day is a new day, enjoying life, and trying some brand new makeup techniques. Just have fun today. I hope you know that I love you and I appreciate you being here with me today. Bye, everyone.